What's going on, everybody? My name is David Delano, and I'm going to give you my college football best bet for Nebraska versus Minnesota. Big Ten college football action going here on Friday, October 17th, 2025. And if you want to get all of my plays for this weekend, go ahead and check out picksandparlays.net. If you don't want my plays, but there's somebody else that you like over on picksandparlays.net, that's completely fine. Check out our Weekend Warrior Pass right now. What does that really mean? That means that you can get every football play dropped, including Monday Night Football, both college and pro, for the whole weekend for $49. If football isn't just your thing, there's also passes on the entire season as well, which I'll get into. But we will go ahead and get into this free play between Nebraska and Minnesota. So go ahead and getting into this game here. First of all, one thing that may surprise some of you guys, Minnesota's won the last 5 head-to-head matchups in this Big Ten series. Nebraska Cornhuskers, though, the better team on paper coming into this game. 7.5-point favorite, total at 46.5. We have seen some line movement early. Right now, Nebraska opened up as a 5.5-point favorite on the road. Now they're up to 7.5, so definitely taking some money on the Nebraska side. Total has been has gone down from 49 to 46.5. And as we look at both of these teams here, first of all, let's go and look into the road team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers here. Nebraska opened up the season with a win over Cincinnati 20-17, and then 2 somewhat tune-up wins, embarrassed Akron and Houston Christian. Really got to let some young guys play, depth throughout the roster. First Big Ten test came at home against the Michigan Wolverines. Nebraska lost that game 30-27. Since Michigan, though, they've won their last 2 games, 5-1 on the season now. They beat Michigan State by 11 points, 38-27. And coming off of a 34-31 road win over Maryland. And it definitely showed some resilience for the Cornhuskers. They trailed in that game, put together, they trailed with less than 4 minutes left, put together a 7-play, 81-yard drive, which was capped off on a touchdown pass from Dylan Raiola to Dane Key, got the Cornhuskers the win. Now let's go ahead and look at the other side. You got the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who are 4-2. Opened up the season with wins over Buffalo and Northwestern State. Went on the road for their first test and lost 27-14 to California now about a month ago. In Big Ten play, Minnesota beat Rutgers 31-28 at home. They went to Ohio State and obviously showed that they're not up to that caliber yet in a 42-3 loss, but they're coming off of a 27-20 win over Purdue. And they were trailing in that game 20-13 in the fourth quarter. After a 14-play, 70-yard drive tied the game. Very next offensive play for the Boilermakers was intercepted and returned 27 yards for a touchdown, which sealed the win. Still was a lot of time left, but Minnesota held on for a 27-20 win. So what do we think is going to happen in this one? Well, it's a little bit tough. Marquee Friday game, a little bit of a short week. You're seeing 7.5 points. A little tempting to take the home underdog in a conference game like this, seeing that the Gophers have won 5 straight. But I think that Minnesota is going to have their hands full in this one. So Minnesota's led by freshman quarterback Drake Lindsey, who's been pretty effective so far on the season, completing over 60% of his passes. Done a pretty nice job of protecting the ball, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But here's where I think the Golden Gophers are going to run into some problems. Minnesota has had one of the most ineffective running games in the country so far. 18 teams in the Big Ten. Feels weird saying this. They're 16th out of 18 teams in the Big Ten in rushing yards per game. But they try to run the ball. They are 126th in the country, Minnesota is, averaging only 3 yards per rush attempt. So I think that Minnesota is going to have a hard time running the ball. So there's going to be a lot on quarterback Drake Lindsey in this one if Minnesota wants to move the chains. Here's where a bigger problem comes in. Nebraska, number 1 in the Big Ten in passing yards allowed. Defensively, number 1 in the nation, the Nebraska Cornhuskers are, allowing only 4.6 yards per pass attempt. So I think Minnesota's going to have to throw the ball to be effective, and Nebraska has been as tough to throw the ball against as any team in the nation. With this offense also led by Dylan Raiola, Nebraska is number 1 on offense in passing yards per game. I know they're on the road, but I think Minnesota's going to have a hard time keeping up. And the fact that Nebraska, even though all these guys obviously weren't involved, the fact that Minnesota's won 5 straight against Nebraska, I don't think that this is going to be a look-ahead spot. It's Friday night. Nebraska has something to prove. I like the Nebraska Cornhuskers, even though they're on the road, -7.5 on Friday night. I like Nebraska. I'm seeing this as I'm projecting this is going to be about a 27-17 Nebraska win. I think Minnesota is going to have a hard time getting more than 17 points in this game. So, official free play best bet for Friday night is going to be the Nebraska Cornhuskers -7.5. And I know we're talking about football here, but baseball's almost over, but we're still locked in for that for these championship series and World Series. Right now, going back all the way to March 30th, 2022, yours truly, number 1 overall in Major League Baseball. And also, I handicap the NHL, college basketball, NBA, obviously NFL, college football going on as well. You can check out that Weekend Warrior Pass over on picksandparlays.net. 5 out of the first 6 weeks of the NFL season have been winning weekends for me so far. And also, you could go ahead right now over on picksandparlays.net. Myself or any other capper over there, you got $500 off for the entire year, every sport. So you could go ahead and check that out. You can also go ahead and check me out on X at Get Sports Strong. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're on board with the Nebraska Cornhuskers -7.5. Whether you're following, fading, it's all good. And if there's plays in any other game, whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go ahead and leave your free plays in the comments. The great thing that I love about this is we can all have our opinions. We can agree. We can disagree. But on Friday night, we're going to all find out. Minnesota Golden Gophers and Nebraska Cornhuskers are going to have the last say as far as what happens. So put the opinions in before the games. Afterwards, nobody really cares, right? No, you always leave your comments anytime. But, we appreciate the predictions before the games the most. But we'll definitely be rocking with you guys all season long, all year long, with more free picks. So I'll definitely go ahead and see you on the next one. I'm David Delano. Once again, official free pick for this video. Friday night, October 17th, in the Big Ten on Fox, we're going to go with the Nebraska Cornhuskers -7.5 on the road against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Thanks so much for watching. Be safe out there, and God bless.